I want your soul.
Oh my God. I don't know what to make of this.
Oh, I know what to make of it, and I freaking love it. I love it.
I
The
personally,
final boss is back. And
yeah.
he is back to take some souls and dig some O's, the Undertaker would say.
Do you think this is leading? I don't think this is leading to a match between Rock and Cody, though.
Oh, I got it all figured out. I sat there Friday night in my little brain. I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning because my head was spinning, thinking about this, going, The Rock wants Cody Rhodes' soul. What the fuck does that mean? Then I sat there and I thought about it. And I thought about it. And I thought about all the Cody crybabies last year who said, Cody needs to finish his story. Guess what, kids? There's a man who is a 16-time world champion. His name is John Cena. And do you remember what that man said at the Royal Rumble press conference? He said he is going to the Elimination Chamber. He is winning the Elimination Chamber. He is winning the main event of WrestleMania 41 because it is best for business. Has John Cena ever said anything about something being best for business before? No. What has the storyline been in WWE since like 2017? John Cena can no longer win a big match. He hasn't won a big match in 2,000 something days. Well, you know what? Everybody's pissed off because John Cena, like myself, very pissed off that John Cena did not start off his retirement tour full time. He was not at Monday Night Raw on February 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. He left the Royal Rumble. He's still filming a movie. He's going to the Elimination Chamber. John Cena realizes this is his last chance to win a world championship in WWE. Cody Rhodes is going to tell The Rock he is not going to sell his soul. There is somebody that's going to sell their soul, and the main event of WrestleMania 41 will feature the American Nightmare defending his championship against a heel, John Cena, with the final boss in his corner. John Cena will walk out of WrestleMania 41, your new undisputed WWE champion, and Cody Rhodes' downfall will begin. That is booking option number one. There is a booking option number two that I will get to in a little bit.
I see where you're going with that, but we did have that interaction with Punk and Cody where Punk said to him, I'm not like your other friends where they stab you in the back because I'm going to stab you in the front.
That is booking option number three. That's not even booking option number two.
Let me guess what booking option is for number two is for you. Does it involve a Scottish warrior?
No, it does not.
Really? Because I could see it be that Drew McIntyre is the one that that gets behind The Rock, and he beats Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania 41 and walks out the new WWE champion.
Booking option number two is the American Nightmare does sell his soul to the final boss, Corporate Cody. He sells out. And guess who's there to save the day, everybody? That very same 16-time world champion, Super Cena, comes back one more time to save the WWE from corporate champion Cody Rhodes. And we get Cody Rhodes and the final boss teaming up against the 16-time world champion, a babyface John Cena, who then would become a 17-time world champion.
Okay. I thought for sure Drew McIntyre would factor into this.
Booking option number three, I agree with you, is CM Punk selling his soul to Dwayne the Final Boss Rock Johnson, defeating Cody Rhodes. There goes Cody Rhodes' downfall. Booking option number four is somehow, some way, some involvement of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, who gets involved in this story somehow. And we could even get a babyface Roman Reigns versus a heel Cody Rhodes.
But that would make no sense because what's the point of the men's elimination chamber then?
Because the final boss enters the Elimination Chamber match himself and he lays down for Cody Rhodes.
Huh. Could happen. So if I were laying out the card for this show, I would have women's elimination chamber open the show. Then I would do that tag team match, Tiffany and Trish against Nia and Candice. Then I would do Rock Cody. And then I would do the men's elimination chamber match. And in the main event,
Oh, I disagree with you completely on this.
the unsanctioned match.
I disagree with you completely on this.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, unsanctioned, Toronto.
That match is going on second or third. It has zero chance to main event this show. There's two options for the main event. It's either the Rock and Cody segment or the men's elimination chamber match.
Hey, that's just me. But I really don't care about the tag team match because this Tiffany Strang Nia Jax story is just dragging on, and I don't give a shit about it.
It's a way to get Trish Stratus back on the card in Toronto. Tiffy's going to get finally her big win over Nia, and she'll then transition as a babyface to take on heel Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 41.
But when I look at the women's elimination chamber, I mean, we just got new women's tag team champions in Liv and Raquel. So I don't think Liv is going to win. You got Bianca and Naomi, where I think it's going to be revealed that Naomi was the attacker on Jade, which could open the door for Bianca. You got Bayley and Roxanne, which I think that's going to happen at Mania. I really do. So there's not like a clear-cut person that you're like, they should be the favorite. And to add on to the confusion of all this, you got Rhea Ripley defending her title against Io Sky on Raw next week after Elimination Chamber. So it's almost like, what's the point of Elimination Chamber then? I don't get it.
So here's where...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about Alexa Bliss, but I think she's going to get caught up with Wyatt stuff. So
here's where, and I've been a fan of Triple H's booking the last 2 years. This is one of those ones where, to me, it would be a massive mistake. And I don't get outraged that often. If Bianca Belair wins the Elimination Chamber, the whole attacking Jade Cargill storyline to me makes absolutely zero freaking sense. Bianca Belair should be the one revealed who attacked Jade Cargill, not Naomi, because Bianca Belair gave the tag team titles to Naomi willingly. If Naomi was really the one who attacked Jade Cargill, why would Bianca so willingly be willing to give up the tag team titles? Bianca wanted to get Jade Cargill out of her way because Jade Cargill was taking up too much of her spotlight. Because Bianca Belair used to be the popular girl, the EST, the SmackDown Women's Champion, the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, all these accolades. Jade Cargill came in, stole her spotlight, became the more popular woman. That is the story they need to tell, not Jade versus Naomi. You can have them both be revealed as the attackers. I'd even be okay with that, but not just Naomi. I think if they do Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, it pretty much wastes the entire Jade Cargill attack storyline.
Then what do you do in terms of who wins the Elimination Chamber? Because I don't think it's going to be Roxy. I don't think it's going to be Bayley because I think they're on a collision course to me at Mania, like I said. It's not going to be Alexa because Alexa is going to get involved with Wyatt stuff, which where have the Wyatts gone? They've disappeared. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to be Liv because she just won the women's
Okay.
tag team titles.
Here's what you do. There are many options, in my opinion. One of those options is it is Liv Morgan. And you have Io Sky, you have Rhea Ripley have a disqualification where Liv Morgan comes in, she interferes, and you have a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 between Rhea, Liv, and Io, where Io can pin Liv. Rhea Ripley does not have to take the fall. She still loses the championship. You can move Rhea Ripley out of the division. Io Sky becomes the new champion. That is one option. The other option is, and I did not agree with you at the Royal Rumble at all, but the way they're pushing it, why not put a rocket strap to Roxanne Perez? Why not give Roxanne Perez, fresh out of NXT, one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania history against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship? And why not have Roxanne Perez become one of the fastest rising newborn stars in the women's division by her knocking off Rhea Ripley? Based off her Royal Rumble performance and based off the way they've been booking her at the Elimination Chamber, I think she would be viewed as a credible threat. The other option is, I think you're just dismissing Alexa Bliss. I would not dismiss Alexa Bliss from winning this Elimination Chamber and going on to face Rhea Ripley as a former Women's World Champion. And for the Wyatt family to possess her, for her to be revealed as the new leader of the Wyatt family, and for her to use her Wyatt family powers to take down Rhea Ripley and win the Women's World Championship.
Ugh. See, I don't really want to see that story because, like, I liked what Bray Wyatt did, but the Wyatt sick stuff just isn't for me personally. So I couldn't. For me, I just couldn't quite sink my teeth into something like that. Whereas your other option, Roxanne versus Rhea, I would definitely take that. But as much as you don't want to see it, I would love to see Rhea versus Bianca. A lot of fans are pushing for it.
I want to see it, just not under these circumstances. I wanted to see it 2 years ago. You know, I wanted to see it even last year. I thought could have been a possibility. Now when Bianca Belair has been a tag team champion for half this year, and then all of a sudden Jade Cargill gets attacked, and now we're going to put Bianca in the Women's World. Why? That to me makes absolutely no sense with her character. That's like she's been wasting 6 months of the tag division. There has to be a payoff with Jade Cargill somewhere. Unless the storyline is that Jade's attacker doesn't get revealed until after WrestleMania, and it turns out to be Bianca, and Bianca beats Rhea, and Bianca says, well, I became a champion without you. And that becomes your major title program of Rhea and Jade going into the spring and going into SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That I would be on board with. But Rhea has to lose to Bianca. If Bianca just has a title match against Rhea and loses, it makes no sense.
That I agree with you. I don't even want to talk about the tag team match because it's just kind of there. Sorry. And I don't care about Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. That story has just been dragging on and on and on. It's been a snooze fest. The men's elimination, or no, you want to talk unsanctioned match first?
Well, we already kind of talked about the men's chamber. Let's talk about unsanctioned.
Well, I thought there was a chance they could do this match at WrestleMania.
You and I both, but I think we're finally going to get the match that you have been wanting. Maybe not the full version of the match that you have been wanting, but an RKO to a certain KO is Randy Orton's going to finally return here and help Sami Zayn win this barn burner of a freaking match where these two guys will kill it down there in Toronto. They will have an incredible match. Randy Orton will hit Kevin Owens with an RKO, and we will get Randy Orton against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
And that match if we do that match, Ollie will tell you right now, that will be a candidate for Mania match, or like Match of Mania, however you want to say it. I think Kevin Owens, Randy Orton would be that good. Um,
I don't know what they do with Sammy at WrestleMania. That's my problem with it now.
yeah, I agree. Um, in terms of the like, I'm loving this heel version of Kevin Owens. First of all, his car needs to go into the WWE Hall of Fame because because think about this. During his feud with Cody Rhodes, and now during this feud with Sami Zayn, he's cut some of his best promos from that car. Like, it's so good. Every time they show him out in his car, you're like, what is he going to say to this time?
Because he's a man speaking the truth. That's what he is.
But here's the thing. I love the way he's going about it. Like, yes, he's speaking the truth, but he's doing it in an asshole way. I'm loving.
Well, that's doing it in an asshole way, or is he just doing it in the way that he can do it? I mean, seriously, we all rented our car.
But that's what I'm saying. I think in this case, the two things you just mentioned, the way he knows how and an asshole way, are kind of like this. Like, they're basically
him and Drew McIntyre are basically playing the same character to a T.
Yes. I'd love to see the two of them be a tag team at some point, but keep these same characters. It would be so good. Call them like the truth tellers. Oh, yeah. I would give them the tag team titles. But actually, speaking of Drew McIntyre, I'm curious. If he does not win the men's elimination chamber, what
LA
is
Knight.
he?
LA Knight. That's the Mania match.
For the U.S. Championship?
No, just straight up one-on-one. Like LA Knight and AJ Styles a year ago. LA Knight, Drew McIntyre is a Mania-worthy match.
So you don't think Shinsuke drops the title to LA Knight then?
God, I hope he does. He's at the worst championship reign of all time, but no, he won't.
I mean, we talked about Cena. We talked about Punk. McIntyre's the wild card for me in this whole thing. Because I could see him going after Jimmy Uso again. And possibly that being something they do at Mania.
Yeah, maybe at the Fatal 4-Way. Jimmy, LA Knight, Drew, Shinsuke for the U.S. title.
Maybe.
The
other thing I'm curious about, because you got Cena, you got Punk, you got Drew, you got Seth. I'm very curious to see what Seth does at Mania. I think it's going to be something with Roman. But really, the one I want to talk about is the one from Cleveland, although we don't claim him. Because
who does he screw to set up the Mania match with? That's the question.
There's so many options for him. Like, here's my thinking, and a lot of people have said, "Oh no, you're crazy." I think it could be Logan Paul against CM Punk at WrestleMania. No. I really do. Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Who was it that threw CM Punk out of the Rumble?
It was Logan Paul.
It was Logan Paul. Then they had a promo battle. I think it was the week after the Rumble, if I remember correctly. And then last night they got into another promo battle, and Logan Paul slapped CM Punk. It feels like they're sprinkling those seeds that could be Punk against Paul at WrestleMania. Maybe I'm reading into it too much.
No, I agree with you, and I've seen that sentiment. To me, it just feels like Punk is due for a bigger match. And no disrespect to Logan Paul, but it does feel like Punk needs to be involved in a main event this year, or at least close to it in some way or form. Like, no disrespect to Logan Paul. Whoever gets him between Cena and Punk and Rollins, it does sort of feel like a letdown compared to what they could have had. That think about the thing I want to talk about in this match is the history between the men involved. You have obviously Rollins' history with Logan Paul. You have the whole essential triangle with Punk, Rollins, McIntyre, Priest, and everything they went for over the World Championship. CM Punk and John Cena's history. Seth Rollins and John Cena's history. Like
Punk
anything
and
can
Rollins history.
Punk and Rollins, like anything
Punk
can
and
happen.
McIntyre.
Though, by the way, those are the two that I think should start the chamber. Punk and McIntyre. Let's renew that feud. I could see Punk against McIntyre or Rollins starting the chamber.
I could see it. Jeez. Sorry. Priest is the other wild card in this because I've heard the plan for Mania is McIntyre against Priest.
I think they moved off that. I
Yeah.
really do.
And I think that's for two reasons. One, I think McIntyre should get a bigger match than that. Jesus Christ. But I also think Priest should get a bigger match than that. Damian Priest has proven that he is a main event caliber guy.
You know what? He's the guy that should take the belt off Shinsuke. Because I think LA Knight and Drew need to be in a little bit of a non-title feud. I think if you give Priest the belt, I think Priest could do some good things with that U.S. title.
I'd love to see Priest go after the Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental.
Well, Priest is on SmackDown now.
That's true.
By the way, Braun Breaker, AJ Styles book at WrestleMania 41.
I'm not so sure about that because Finn Balor seems to have an interest.
Okay, we'll make it a triple threat. AJ and Braun Breaker will be in the same ring. I'm telling you that.
I would take it. I've seen the rumored match being AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at Mania.
And then that was quickly dismissed. I doubt it. I think a triple threat, like you said, could be likely. We'll see. A lot of things are going to shape up here post Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
But
in terms of my picks for this, with the women, I want to pick Roxanne, but I think she's going to get caught up with Bayley. So as much as you don't want it, I think it's going to be Bianca. And then, sure, for the women's tag team match, I'll go with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. I'll say Trish pins Candice LeRae. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Unsanctioned match, I'll go with Sami Zayn because of an RKO from the Viper to Mr. Kevin Owens. And in the men's Elimination Chamber match, I'm going to go with the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
You called the Royal Rumble. We'll see if you can do it again. I have, for the Women's Elimination Chamber, I'm going to go with, I can't believe I scolded you over this a month ago. Roxanne Perez is going to win the Women's Elimination Chamber. I agree with you. Tiffy pins Candice. Sammy pins Kevin Owens after the Randy Orton RKO. And in the Men's Elimination Chamber match, turning heel, the 16-time world champion. We finally get the dark side, the side that we cannot see. The final boss teams up with the leader of the C Nation and faces Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns will be having their planned triple threat match.
See, that's why I didn't pick Cena, because it feels like the obvious pick. So I wanted to go with somebody that isn't as obvious.